Everybody thinks being a rapper means you've made it. The cars, the jewelry, the mansions. It looks like a dream life, but behind the scenes, most of these rappers are drowning in debt, locked into contracts they can't escape, and spending money faster than they can make it. So how does someone go from making millions to being flat broke in just a few years? Let's break down the dark truth about why rap fame is one of the fastest ways to go broke, and I've got the receipts to prove it. See, the problem starts the moment a rapper signs that contract. Labels hand out these massive advances. We're talking 6, sometimes even 7 figures, and it feels like they just hit the jackpot. But what a lot of these artists don't realize is that an advance isn't free money. It's basically a loan. When the label gives you a $2 million advance, they expect to make that money back from your album sales, streaming numbers, and any other revenue you generate. And if the album flops, that money still has to be paid back, plus interest. Lil Uzi Vert once admitted his label gave him a substantial contract to the tune of $3 million in advance, but after album production costs, taxes, and label fees, he only walked away with around $500,000. TLC was one of the biggest girl groups in the world, but they were only making less than $50,000 a year at their peak because their label was taking most of the profit. Lisa Left Eye Lopez had to break down the math in an interview, exposing how they were getting robbed despite selling millions of records.
All right, this is how a group can sell 10 million records and be broke. And everyone, get ready to do your math. When we first started out, we were kind of cocky. Okay, there are 100 points on the album. TLC had 7. Every point is equal to 8 cents. All right? 7 times 8, 56 cents. But as time went on, we learned a lot. That means every time an album gets sold, TLC gets 56 cents. So 10 million records, $5.6 million. Seems like a lot of money. Well, it's not a lot of money when the record company has spent $3 million to record your album. And in the record business, we pay all costs back to the record company. We pay recording costs, video costs. So now we have $2.6 million left. Well, guess what? When you have that much money, you're in about the 47, 48, 49% tax bracket. So that immediately gets deducted to $1.3 million. Then you split the rest 3 ways. You got about $300,000, if that much. Okay? $300,000. I can buy a nice house with that. And what am I going to pay my bills with?
Even Lil Yachty revealed in an interview that after taxes and label cuts, he saw almost nothing from his first album despite it going platinum. He admitted, "People think I'm rich, but I'm broke as hell." So these rappers are spending money they don't even have yet, and once that advance dries up, they're in debt before their career even starts. Once the money starts rolling in, the pressure to keep up the rapper lifestyle is real. Fans expect you to flex the designer clothes, the chains, the cars. It's part of the image. And when you mix that pressure with young rappers who've never had real financial guidance, it's a disaster waiting to happen. T-Pain famously blew through $40 million at the height of his career. He bought multiple Bugattis, houses, and even let his entourage live rent-free. He later admitted that at one point he had to ask for a loan just to avoid losing his house. Birdman used to flex with massive diamond chains and private jets, but in 2017, his $14 million mansion in Miami was repossessed after he defaulted on a loan. MC Hammer made over $30 million a year in the early 90s, but he filed for bankruptcy in 1996 after blowing through $70 million on luxury cars, jewelry, and a staff of 200 people on his payroll. Rappers don't just lose money on material things, they're supporting entire crews, paying for family expenses, and footing the bill for luxury trips. That kind of lifestyle burns through millions fast. Now, let's talk about the contracts, because the music industry is full of sharks. These labels know exactly what they're doing when they sign young, inexperienced rappers. A lot of rappers are locked into 360 deals, which means the label takes a cut of everything: album sales, touring, merch, endorsements, basically any income stream the artist creates. Meek Mill tweeted in 2021, "I haven't seen a single check from my label in years. I don't even know how much money they're making off me." Tyga had to sue Cash Money Records to get out of a contract that was allegedly leaving him with almost nothing after expenses. He admitted that despite having platinum hits, his take-home pay was embarrassingly low. Even Lil Wayne went public about how Birdman and Cash Money were withholding millions from him. He eventually sued Birdman for $51 million to get his money and music rights back. And let's not forget about streaming platforms. Spotify pays artists around 0.003 to 0.005 cents per stream. That means even a platinum record might only bring in around $5,000 after all the splits with the label, management, and producers. And then there's the tax problem, because Uncle Sam is always lurking. Rappers are getting million-dollar checks, but forgetting that about 40% of that belongs to the IRS.
Yeah.
What was the first thing that you did? You got your first meal.
I blew that check in a week.
What? How much was it?
Like 1.3, I think.
In a week?
Yeah.
What the hell you buy? New York City?
Man, the second I got that, I never forget, I was in my mom's house. And we lived in that same house my entire life. And I had two of the homies, they was living in, I had this real small room. And I remember I signed a deal, but it took like almost 3 weeks for the check to clear.
Okay.
So every day I woke up, I checked my bank account. Woke up, not there. Woke up, not there. Woke up, not there. One day I woke up. A motherfucker was in there. Man, I was screaming, I was jumping. I was like, what the fuck? I'm rich, I'm rich. I went straight to Mercedes. Fuck you talking about? G-Wagon. I need that, right? I was like, damn, I can't be G-Wagon. Mama ain't got no car. Okay, Range Rover. You know what I'm saying? Penthouse. Grandma need a car? You know what I'm saying? Gucci. I need everything in this bitch, every color. I was going crazy. I was 18. I that money up so quick.
In 2012, Fat Joe served time for tax evasion because he didn't pay over $3 million in taxes. DMX owed over $2.3 million in back taxes when he passed away. The IRS had frozen his accounts and seized his assets. Even Ja Rule had to serve a 28-month prison sentence in 2011 for tax evasion. He owed over $1.1 million in back taxes. Lawsuits are another financial drain. Rappers are constantly getting sued for missed shows, unpaid loans, or even assault charges. 50 Cent had to file for bankruptcy after being ordered to pay $5 million to Rick Ross's baby mother for leaking her sex tape. Young Thug and Gunna were recently tied up in a massive RICO case, and their legal bills alone were likely in the millions. Kanye West was sued by My Channel Inc. for $7 million for allegedly stealing technology ideas for his Yeezy platform. The real problem comes when the hits stop coming. Hip-hop is a young man's game. Most rappers have about a 5 to 10 year window before their relevance fades. Scott Storch went from making $70 million a year to filing for bankruptcy after blowing his fortune on cars, drugs, and parties. Young Buck, who was part of G-Unit, had to file for bankruptcy after struggling to pay off debt and losing his music catalog. Even Lil' Kim faced foreclosure on her $3 million mansion after falling behind on payments. When that happens, the money dries up, but the expenses don't. the mortgage on the mansion, the car notes, the jewelry payments, they keep coming even when the income stops. So what's the takeaway here? The rap game looks like fast money and easy success from the outside, but behind the scenes, it's one of the most brutal industries in the world. Rappers are getting chewed up and spit out, and most of them don't have the financial education or the right people in their corner to protect them. That's why so many of them end up right back where they started, or worse, just a few years after they were on top. So the next time you see a rapper showing off a $500,000 chain or flexing a new Rolls Royce, ask yourself, how much of that is really theirs? And how long before the industry takes it all back? Let me know in the comments, which rapper do you think is living the biggest lie right now? Let's talk about it. Well, that's it for now. I'm Annie, and it was nice talking to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.